Hi, Captain Steve for the Ocean Life Network, and today we're going to be talking about the Ultra Anchor and why we're seeing it on more recreational boats and luxury yachts. The typical anchor that we normally see is the Danforth. That's been the standard for years and years, but it does have some inherent drawbacks that have been engineered out with the Ultra Anchor. So let's answer the question of why we're seeing this more and more, starting with looking at the features. First of all, it's got a reinforced eye so it won't bend or break, even under extreme loads. It's got a hollow shank and a lead-filled tip so that the center of gravity is much lower and it gives it more bite and more ability to dig into the bottom. I like this. This is a non-chain foul bar. This will prevent the chain from wrapping around the anchor and fouling, and you can also put a trip line on this so you can pull it out backwards. It's got a flat underside, so once you get into recovery mode, it's able to pivot on that position, and this drop tip is able to come up out of the bottom. And about that drop tip, you can notice how it drops down so it's able to dig into the bottom much better and doesn't rely on the chain pulling down on the anchor to get it to dig into the bottom. There are side wing plates that actually allow the anchor to dig deeper once it starts to rotate in a changing tide or current. And of course, they'll also help stabilize the anchor as it starts to penetrate into the seabed. This upper holding platform is more flat, slightly concave, but it gives you more surface area and allows the anchor to dig in and penetrate more fully than if it were just two flukes digging in. But probably one of the most impressive features of this anchor are not even on the anchor itself. It's the swivel that you can get with it. This is an important component as it allows the anchor to rotate on its chain, especially when you're coming up onto the davit. But look at some of the features. It's got a bridge that supports the anchor shank right here. Everything on it is rounded, so it's not going to cause damage to anything as it comes aboard. There's a ball and socket design, so it has maximum strength and maximum movability, plus there's a Teflon O-ring inside here. And the throat opening is specially suited for the chain size, so there's multiple sizes available of this swivel. And finally, hexagonal bolts. This is into a recess that's also hexagonal, so it won't undo itself. On top of all of that, the shaft is 318 LN duplex stainless steel, and the body is 316 L stainless steel, all polished to perfection. But of course, none of this matters. It's all academic unless it actually does its job. So let's get it out on the water and see how it works in a commercial application.
It seemed to grab a lot more quicker than the typical Danforth.
This one got me by surprise. It grabbed a lot quicker than a normal anchor would.
Typically setting the anchor takes a little bit of time and a little bit more skill, but with this new anchor, is a lot more of a streamlined process and it happened really quickly, so I'm really impressed with how it worked.
Because of its weight, it felt like it had more of a solid feel to it.
Yeah, the anchor had a much more solid feel.
It just had a solid feel to it.
I've been using this anchor on and off for about 3 weeks now, and it's been holding in calm seas, heavy winds, wind against the tide, changing winds. So even when we're swinging around on the anchor, it still keeps us set in position. Now, we've been using it on a commercial boat, so is that to say that this is a commercial grade anchor? I mean, yeah, it can be used on a commercial boat. But the point that we're trying to make by using it on a commercial boat is that if it's up to the rigors of commercial operations, it's certainly up to the rigors of your operations on your recreational boat, on your luxury yacht. So that's my full features inspection of the Ultra Anchor. For Ocean Life Network, I'm Captain Steve. We'll see you on the water. Changing tides, oh, you son of a